Growing up, I was often told a man marries who he wants and a woman marries who she can. As a woman, you were incomplete if you did not have a partner. Marriage was for survival. It was for shelter, for food, for children, for progeny. Then we brought love to marriage and we brought sex to love, and marriage became for belonging and for romantic needs. The heightened stakes that is brought to the vows matches the epic proportion of expectations that people are bringing to marriage. I think people are obsessed with perfection, period.
Alrighty. Shoot time. Alright, looks better. Hi. Are you feeling relaxed? Are you feeling the romantic vibe, ready to write your wedding vows?
I am, actually.
Okay, good. That's half the battle. Okay. When I write vows for my clients, the interview is the most important part of the process. That's when I get to know exactly who my client is and what they want to express. These are going to be the words that govern your marriage. 10 years from now, you're going to go back to these words and say, I still mean this. So what are some of the promises that you're looking forward to sharing with Richard? It has to sound exactly like them, but an elevated version, because that's why they hired me. Literally, if you want to take a few minutes and just close your eyes and picture yourselves in 10 years, like what are those emotions that you're feeling?
We don't always have the words to express that which we want to say. And not all of us are lyricists and troubadours.
You're good. Like, I feel like I've been close to tears this entire time.
Oh.
Honestly, like, right when I close my eyes, like, I see, like, sunlight.
Sunlight and happiness. Oh, I see it too. You brought me there. That is great. I'm starring that too.
A few years ago, it was a season of weddings. I started to hear these vows, and first of all, I also saw that people glazed over them, that the audience wasn't listening, because it was curated, filtered life, like fake news. It just began to resemble the voices of social media.
If you create this euphoric, I promise to never do anything bad, and I promise to always be happy, that's when it gets into idealistic terms. You want to be as realistic as possible and say things like, even when it does get difficult, I'm still going to be by your side.
I will, on a regular basis, mess things up.
I'm still going to be the person that roots for you when no one else does.
I hope that I can manage my own imperfection with you.
We all want to say, I will promise to love you every single day forever, but I think what makes vows so amazing is when you say that, yeah, when life happens, I'll still be there for you.
It embraces the imperfection. It highlights it. It doesn't pretend it doesn't exist. It actually says it exists so much, but we'll figure it out. And I hope I'll do what I need to do.
Annabelle and Anthony, you are about to make lifelong promises to each other. These vows are representing your intentions. You will find that as you live your lives by these words, investing your time, love, and commitment to each other, the happy times of your life will multiply.
The draw to the vow and the magnitude of the modern vow is a desperate attempt to bring ritual in a society that often lives with very few of them. It has a lot of habits. It has few rituals. They create an architecture to this relationship that is not just about feelings, that is about commitment and values and promises, declarations. Every one of these vows is actually speaking to the values and the expectations that people bring to their marriages. The very themes of our modern existence are reflected in what I promise you will never have to deal with.
You guys are actually not married until you sign this piece of paper.
The intensity, the absoluteness, the totalism of these vows often stands in sharp contrast with the nomadism, the fleetingness of the romantic lives that people have had before.
And forsaking all others, keep thee only unto her, so long as ye both shall live.
I will.
Marriage was an institution that was protecting lineage and property. And for that, love could be a part of it, but it certainly was not the driving force to engage in it. Marriage that switches from a primarily economic enterprise to a romantic arrangement, those are shifts that are starting in the 60s and continue all the way now. They're in full force at this point.
That's when vows began to transition from what we knew, like to death do us part, where people started to say, we're marrying because we love each other, not because we feel bound to each other to the grave.
The boomer generation was the first generation with contraception and with the permission to have sex before marriage, with the confirmation of the free choice enterprise that began gradually to make people have many relational experiences before they commit themselves with the person that they want to build a life with. It also, for the first time, made divorce possible and made it possible for women actually to leave.
Marriage in America is not the traditional marriage for life of 50 years ago. Divorce is common practice, not the result of sin or wickedness. Can we hope to begin to build a new pattern for marriage?
People would leave if they were really unhappy. Today, people leave if they could be happier. This notion that we deserve and we are entitled and we must be happy on earth is part of the perfection. And these perfection enter also into these vows that people are saying to each other.
What I originally thought about love stemmed way back to my obsession with Disney. It was that everything was a happy ending. What I realized is that the reality of love is so much more beautiful. The flaws, the triumphs, overcoming obstacles.
Love is a verb, and it's not a permanent state of enthusiasm. I would urge most people today to think less about finding the right person and more about being the right person.